Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the First Descendant. Oh my goodness. Happy Sunday, everybody. Let me turn down that music just a little bit. I have a very special guest here today. Somebody that I've actually really enjoyed watching for quite a little bit now. When it comes to lore in video games, I really love it. Would you like to introduce yourself tonight?
Hello, everybody. Siege from the Siege channel.
Whoa!
Very excited for this.
It crashed!
What happened?
The game crashed. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
I'm good over on this end.
Oh, that's so funny. Why did it do that? I don't think I've ever seen Warframe do that.
No, it's wrong. I mean, again, this game is brand new, so maybe we're being a little too harsh. Warframe does have a decade on it, but at the same time,
it does. Yes.
The one day where you couldn't play, that was not great.
I joined obviously after Railjacks. And I heard that was like one of the worst times to play before they were fixed.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you some things. The Railjack was not that was a bad time to be a Warframe.
Oh yeah.
It was it was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah. No, yeah. I was gonna ask you, since you've definitely played it longer, do you feel like Warframe is in the best shape, perhaps I mean, because like I feel like games can go up and down in terms of quality, but do you feel like Warframe is in the best spot now than it's ever been with some of the more recent changes?
Personally, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just did a video on this recently. I've always been very hesitant to recommend Warframe to any of my friends, mainly because I kind of knew all the things that they enjoyed, and I looked at the deficiencies kind of in the game itself that I saw, and I was just looked at it as kind of a guilty pleasure. And recently, after Whispers in the Walls, I am, for the first time, I'm all in. If you have any interest, if you like the First Descendant and you've never played Warframe, Warframe is just the better version of it. You should just go play that instead. No offense, but it's just, I think Warframe has all the kinks worked out. Not all of them, but most of the kinks worked out, as far as, you know, the grind is much better than it used to. The new player thing, while not perfect, is loads better than it used to be. It's easier to get everything, slots for your weapons. So, like, if you are a free-to-play player, many of the things that I think people complain about, or at least it did in the past, have been, like, alleviated. Like I said, slots and weapon slots, Warframe slots. I don't know. The game looks better than it ever has. And
I agree.
As I've said before, I'm sure there's going to be a healthy number of people that are going to disagree with me, but my opinion in these type of games, be it the First Descendant, Anthem, Warframe, Destiny, I think Warframe has the absolute best overall, like, story going on. The narrative is deep, it's rich, it's about you, the person, not everybody else, you know, like all your other people, and then you just do all the heavy lifting. It's very personal quest, or personal, like, you know, overall story, but then it delves into like other people's personal things, and it's not afraid to go into some sensitive areas, but it does it in a tactful way that usually comes out pretty good.
Oh, I definitely think it does. Definitely.
So I love covering it.
Oh yeah, for sure. How long have you like just been doing the war? Like, I guess what got you interested in making Warframe lore videos?
Well, at first I got into YouTube because I wanted to be able to show my friends some things. I was a Destiny YouTuber first.
Oh, really?
Destiny 1.
We were
Yeah.
talking about that earlier, yeah.
I wanted to show people things in the game that I thought was interesting, but I didn't have like a method of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was like, oh, you can just make some videos. So I started learning how to make videos, and Destiny 1 ended, and I didn't like the way that Destiny 2 was like headed in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a video after playing Warframe for about a month. And the video was entitled, "You're Sick of Destiny? Why don't you try Warframe?" And the Warframe community, like, really, they embraced me big time. And they've been very good about it since,
That's great.
So I can't complain at all. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, no, that's great. Now, what's funny is the reason why I started playing Warframe is because of how bad Lightfall was. Like, I want to say when Lightfall came out, I played it and it was so bad. I had a friend who lives in the UK, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you try Warframe? I'm playing this right now." I was like, "Dude, I don't want to get into another game that's just going to disappoint me." He's like, "Oh, no, you're going to like this one. It's really good." And I tried it for a day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to stop playing this immediately so I can start streaming it."
I mean, I understand the feeling totally. It's cool. I'm glad to know that like so many people can have the same kind of experience that I did with it. That like you weren't really even looking for anything. Just this thing kind of just fell in your lap.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are the best, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, excuse me. It was
Love your
just
character's outfit.
the in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told my
I
chat.
love your other character's outfit too, but
Oh, you're fine. Like I told my chat that like it when I unlocked Bunny, because even though there's a lot of microtransactions in this game, which is fair because it's a Nexon game, I figured that I would get the maid outfit just to be funny. It kind of made fun of me.
That's wonderful.
I know. It's one of the best parts about this game is the fact that they decided to add maid outfits in the very beginning. You never get that.
I'll tell you something that I actually I like because it's given me some near Automata vibes. So it's totally cool. But one thing I will say that kind of breaks my immersion in this game is when I see somebody in a dinosaur outfit, like the Fortnite things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, dude, are we in a war or what's going on here? Like,
No,
I don't
yeah.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Barney
know.
costume on.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Because, like, in Warframe, you kind of get a little bit of that because of how people do their skins and all of their fashion and stuff. But it still is like, I don't know. I still feel like it fits. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, it's their creations though. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen people do the whole Batman cosplay with Ash a bunch
Really
of
well.
times,
Really good.
He has, like a couple good skins that really work with that. But it's them getting creative with stuff and colors versus it being like a Batman costume in Warframe. Like that's one thing. Warframe's really good about like keeping stuff within their own universe. I'm trying to think, like, even crossover skins do we even have, really?
That's right. I was gonna ask. Like, they do have some like crossover stuff, but I feel like it's mostly been weapon skins, hasn't it?
That's what I was gonna say. It's they like to keep their lore in that regard kind of tight. I appreciate it. Someone like me very much appreciates that.
Yes. That was a fast one. Some of these missions are like, you do them and it's just like, holy cow, that was fast. And then others are just like, when is it gonna end?
Oh, you're right. Well, you wait until you get a little bit deeper into it. You're gonna try to look for the group.
Oh, I bet. I bet. I
You
mean,
can
like,
basically just keep joining missions and like catching them at the tail end, and then like literally you'll get a mission done in 15 seconds.
oh yeah, I bet.
No problem.
I bet. Because, like, when I'm used... So, like, they've definitely decided to take the concepts from Destiny, where you have an overworld here that you walk around, but then they've also taken the idea from Warframe, where there are missions that you have to do in those different areas. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You want to know what this game really plays like?
Well,
Anthem.
yes. Yes, which I have sadly not played. Wasn't that the one that, like, it came out and then it, like, sadly just went away really quickly?
Yeah, it's a shame because it was. I'm gonna tell you something. Like Anthem had something. They definitely did. They didn't. They had all the systems down as far as the gameplay itself with the javelins and how they wanted to do the modding stuff and whatnot. They had that down pretty well. But the one thing they just could not figure out is how to make anything to do.
Oh.
We got essentially you got the campaign in the beginning, and then you were given, I think, 3 what I would consider to be strikes in Destiny. And then that was it.
Really? They had no activity outside of that?
And even I'll tell you, one of the things that where you kind of knew there was problems was there was a mission during the campaign where it was literally you going around and grinding and trying to just find these, you had to kill all these numbers of creatures. That was part of the campaign, and it was such a time sink. It didn't flow with anything. It had no real story basis to it. It was very, like I said, they had the game itself down perfect. Everything past that, it was they didn't put in any of the work.
Right.
As far as to figure out what, how do we do this?
Damn, that's kind of a shame. Because it sounds like, you mentioned it before we started, but you made it sound like it might have really competed with some of the other games in the genre.
Absolutely. It absolutely would.
Damn.
It was unique.
Yeah.
See, I mean, right now, I hate to say it, but what we're playing right here, I mean, you could look at this one of two ways. You can either say that we are playing Outriders, because it looks a lot like Outriders, or if you really want to, kind of be kind of rude, I don't want to crap on this game too much, but this is Fortnite.
Ooh, damn.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of see what you're saying. There's just no PvP.
Yeah, that's it. But they're even trying to talk about putting it in this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Oh no.
Again, when I say that this is a legit mishmash of all, as I mentioned to you before the stream, this game, if you ask me, and it works very well at what it does. This is a psyop. It's basically all the focus groups and stuff come together, and what exactly works in a game. What works in this game? What works in this game? Oh, put that in. Does this work good? Do people like this part? No, throw that in there too. Oh, crap. That's my fault. I screwed that up.
You're fine. No, I laugh because it's actually it makes a lot of sense. But the thing that bothers me the most is if they were good at that, I feel like the story would have been good too. Because that's the one thing that is my biggest problem is the story just suffers so bad.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It hurts.
It felt like that was the last thing that they were planning to work on.
It's so painful. And because it's part of why I love to play video games. And I really wanted to be a creator for this. I was actually really contemplating if I wanted to become, one of the people in the program.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let me just play it first. Because if I don't like it, how am I going to make content for it? Yeah. It's not that I don't like it. I actually think it's super fun. The story-wise, no. No. Now, will that be something maybe that changes in the future? Will they add more to it? It's so long. On top of being boring.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like I would enjoy the story more if it actually felt like there was some mystique to it. But we join, and the story starts where we lose, basically, and now we're left to pick up the pieces. And I'm just like, I don't know if this was
where it goes.
Yeah, it's just so...
You're gonna love where it goes then. If you've already picked up on that part, oh man. Got bad news for you. It's they're gonna expound on that even a little bit more.
Well, I'm just like, okay, we lost the first Iron Heart. Fine, let's go get the next. Oh no, we lost the second one to some idiot that for some reason decides that he wants to go on a power trip. I don't even feel like we got a good enough reason for that to be justified. Now we're going after the third one while also trying to hunt this guy.
Wait, you're gonna love where this one. The reveal is gonna just blow you away.
I feel like we're just in Curse of Osiris. That's how bad it feels.
I was so hyped for that too.
A lot of people because I started playing Destiny in Rivals. I had a month before they vaulted all of the old content, and I was able to play through Red War, Curse of Osiris. I think I completed all of Warmind, and there might have been another one, I can't remember, but I did all of the big stuff that everybody said I needed to do. All I kept hearing is just, oh man, you're not gonna like Curse of Osiris, you're really gonna hate Curse. And I was like, okay. And when I played through, I was like, oh, this is...
Yeah, it was horrific. Yeah. It was just and I guess if I want to be completely honest about it, the problem may be the character himself. Osiris is not a good character in Destiny. He is. I don't know what his deal is, but he doesn't act anything like a person of his intelligence and whatnot should. And especially in Lightfall, I found myself wanting to just punch him because of how ridiculously over the top he was about it. It was just, he was like a petulant child, and I'm like, dude, I thought you were this paragon of information and awesomeness and whatever, and just I don't know, like I said, it just really ruined my idea of that character overall. While I was playing, because again, coming in through Arrivals, I feel like I definitely missed some of the better storylines that were in Destiny when some of the seasons were really good. And jumping in and then going through Beyond Light, which was mid in terms of story, and then you jump into Witch Queen, which was fantastic. Everybody really loves it. And then you go right into Lightfall, and I play that, and I was like, man, I really never want to touch Destiny again after this. I couldn't agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more.
Is there only 2 missions? Wow.
Actually, all the people in my Discord too that play Destiny, after Lightfall, there was a lot of people that were like, hey, I'm gonna ride this out until the end, and I think I'm done.
That's what a lot of my friends are saying. When they started playing Final Shape, my friends were like, okay, this is great, but I really hope that the seasons are great too. One of my friends, who's actually my head mod, he's like, I'm kind of concerned, but I'm just hoping that the story, because the thing with the first I keep wanting to call it a season, but it's not called a season. The new season in
The
Destiny.
DLC
Yes.
stuff or what?
The
Okay.
DLC stuff.
Mhm.
The new season in Destiny.
Oh, the episodes,
The
you
episode.
mean?
Yes. There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. Sorry, too tired from work. The episode, like this, I feel like the story has something there, but it just still feels like we're playing a season.
You're right. And I mean, and that's another thing. Like, I don't know why why they've. Okay, I should say I know exactly why they do it, but like when you're trying to tell a story, piecing it out in little 10-minute segments every week, it's not enough.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
You know,
not.
Because you're not getting a lot of narration. You're getting gameplay, but failsafe might say 3 lines. Oh, these are the worst.
These are funny.
These are the worst.
It's just like platforming, practicing your parkour here. When, in all honesty, you could just like do this, and oh man, I've skipped half of it.
The problem comes in that I don't think that the games is like optimized as something like a Warframe or Destiny for parkour, and so you're gonna find, I don't know, maybe are you on PC?
Yes, I am playing on PC.
Okay, maybe it's very possible with the mouse that might be a little bit more precise, but when you jump up on one of them things, you might go left off it, you might go right. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the thing that was one of my favorite things about Warframe is because I started it on PC, but then I got it on my Steam Deck because I wanted to see how good it was on the Steam Deck. And I was really surprised with just how well that, like, even transitioning to controllers, just how tight it still felt, and I was really happy about that. So I feel like Warframe definitely has that down in terms of how tight the controls are.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I don't know. I like to joke a lot with my friends, and they all think I'm crazy. I was like, I want to play Warframe because I just got a VR headset. I want to play Warframe in VR. And they're like, you realize that you're gonna get sick. And I'm like, I understand that if I like bullet jump a bajillion times, that I probably will want to throw up. I still want to do it though.
Ever been on a roller coaster?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You'll be fine.
Exactly.
You'll be fine.
I don't know. I don't think that would. I feel like if you asked Rebecca that, she'd be like, "Are you crazy?" Of course, we're not going to do that.
It's true. I mean, you're probably right, but at the same time, if I could get Warframe in VR or even just in a first-person perspective, I think that would be very interesting to see, especially with the movement.
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah. Well, it was just like really crazy because, like, going from Destiny, which is first person pretty much exclusively, to third person, it was very wild to me. And it was just like, okay, now that I've experienced third person, I want to feel like what it's like to be the Warframe in first person, because I feel like that would make it a little more personable for me.
I agree.
Oh man.
Or what would even be cooler if they made the operator in first person?
Oh, you know what? That would work too, because that would be perfect. Because, like, when I played the big quest, figuring out who your operator was, I was like, oh my gosh, now now it actually feels like the character, like when you're third person, oh my gosh, it makes it so much more sense, and it feels so much more like surreal, if that makes sense.
Did you ever see? There's a I actually put this image in a couple of my videos because I think it's one of the most profound ones they've given us. But it was at TennoCon a couple years ago. I think it was 2021 or maybe 2020. But they showed kind of like a summary of a bunch of the different quests, but they were like one scene, like a diorama almost. And they showed what actually, well, I guess that's what it's supposed to be, what's happening when we are transferred. And it looks like, it's really creepy actually. The Tenno us, we're actually behind the Warframe, like possessing it almost.
I think I've seen that. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that before.
It's a very creepy image, but if there is any legitimacy to that image, I mean, given that it was presented by DE itself, one would think there's got to be something to it.
Oh no, yeah. Whenever they share anything from the game, I mean, it's just like when they ask, "Can Warframes get pregnant?" and Rebecca's like, "You ask me next time."
Well, technically, if you want to get technical, because I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and Warframes didn't get pregnant there. No. The Warframe was pregnant, and then she was turned into a Warframe.
Yeah.
So technically, they can't get pregnant.
No,
but, But yeah, apparently if you have somebody diabolical enough to turn them into one, as you know,
Ballast
as they're pregnant, then yeah, Ballast, that's definitely right up his alley. He would do that.
Definitely fit. Now, I have to ask, since you research a lot into the lore, do you think he's actually dead, or do you think that we'll see him again one day?
As Eternalism would say, yes and yes.
Okay. Because, like, I am undecided. Because I know that right now we're transitioning from him and the Sentients. Because it feels like the Sentients are probably going to be a little bit more neutral in the future. Maybe we'll go back to them. But it feels like we're transitioning to the Man in the Wall. And when the most recent quest, Whisper in the Wall, came out, I wasn't really expecting Granum to be, like, coming towards the forefront, but now it makes so much sense, and it blew my mind. I was like, I actually got really happy, because, like, Granum's my favorite bad guy in the game, because the Corpers are my favorite faction, so I'm really excited to see where they take him.
Well, it's kind of interesting, because they may have already hinted to Ballast returning, and it's in the Protea Prime trailer that just came out.
Oh yeah.
Where
Wait,
Ballast
really?
and Granum are speaking. Now, it can be interpreted in two different ways. It can be interpreted as this was the original conversation that Ballast and Granum had when, I don't know if you know this, but Protea was given to Granum as a gift.
Yes. It was his big gift, because he, Ballast was, like, impressed with Granum and how he had grown. So he gave him Protea.
And they kind of did their own things too to help each other out. Like the Orc don't do without personal gain in some way.
Of course.
So there's this piece of dialogue that basically, kind of lends itself to them just talking in the past. However, if we're talking about Protea Prime and she's just coming out, it's possible that either Ballast has once again slipped through people's fingertips, or that through the same type of manipulation that has been going on with Albert and Trotty, given that Granum has been ransacking in Trotty's labs for artifacts, it's entirely possible that he figured out a way too. Or
oh, that's really interesting.
The one thing that I don't know, I had called this a long time ago. This was actually right after the Sisters of Parvos called Tempestari.
Yeah.
That Granum appeared to be speaking in the same method that the Man on the Wall speaks like.
I was really surprised that I didn't notice that before. I was like, oh my gosh. Because, like, I made a short one time talking about, because, again, I loved the Corpus, and I just wanted to make a short about my favorite faction. And when I learned that, like, Parvos had these dreams, or that he had something whisper to him, it didn't occur to me that, like, maybe that's the man in the wall. And when I finally realized, I was like, oh my gosh, it like made me love TE even more, because like,
That's what I'm saying. They're good at that. You know, whether they had a plan or not, they tied that stuff together in such a way that it really is a gotcha type feeling versus it being like feeling like it was just kind of like shoehorned in.
mm-hmm.
You know, things that's with DE, a lot of their stuff, you know, something happens now, you don't even realize the significance of it until 2 to 3 years later.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. 100%. It was just so mind-boggling to me. So now, whenever I see him, and for whatever reason, like even with Jade, I'm like, why do you need Jade? Why do you want these Jade Eximus? And like, I started to think about, because like, you know, I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been you that posited about the Jade Light, because when Margulis was, spoilers chat by the way, when Margulis was slain by Ballas, she was slain with the Jade Light, and so I'm like, why does he want Jade Eximus? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, what is coming up here? This like, oh my gosh, like they are definitely like they're building up Parvos in the background so much, and it makes me really happy.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like I said, he's gonna be just another formidable thing for us to deal with, on top of the fact that I'm certain, well now, I mean, we pretty much know that I guess nobody speaks in Void Tongue if they haven't already encountered the indifference. And the fact that Parvos knows Void Tongue, according to Drusus, pretty much confirms that there is a connection there in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to sit there and, you know, say the obvious too hard, but most likely they were, you know, made a deal. Just like they used to say that like the deals were few and far between, but we're finding that that's not the case. Like all kinds of people are making deals, and it makes sense.
Demons make deals with everybody. The question that I'm like trying to figure out, because I talk about this with my friends a lot. Like what I asked him, I was like, well, is the man in the wall bad guy? Is he a good guy? And they're like, well, maybe he's kind of just in between. And right now, I'm kind of the mind that maybe it's just kind of in between, because I haven't really seen him do anything except for just say, hey, I made a deal with you. You better keep it, buddy, or else. And that's really about it. So I don't know. I just don't feel like I know what his true motivations are yet.
Well, so I think a lot of it has to do in what you believe him to be. Because the man on the wall hasn't really been established as any concrete thing yet. But he does give off some very I think a couple different YouTubers have postulated this, not just myself, but there's a thing, I don't know how much you know about Carl Jung. There's a ton of Jungian just information within Warframe, tons of it. And one in particular is something called the collective unconscious. It's, I guess to put it in layman's terms, it's like a bank of information that all beings have access to if they can resonate at the right frequency.
I think I know what you're talking about. Do you think he's just collecting information then? Or just wanting to learn?
What I believe him to be is a perversion of that.
A corruptor,
essentially. Yes. Like it's imagine if you could an entity that comprises the because essentially the void is the dark of our you know, universe, if you will.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could an entity that up till that point was basically just neutral, but then he met Albrecht and Trotty, and due to its nature of copying, this version of the collective unconscious was imprinted with all of Entradi's, let's just say, all of his downsides, his negatives.
Yes, his many downsides.
Right? And so now you have an entity that itself barely understands what existing is, and is essentially just going around having a good time. As you can see, like it one of the things it's very, famous for is pretty much just laughing and showing up, scaring us.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the new war, you had a situation where it was on top of the Vitruvian form of the Man on the Wall laughing at us.
Yeah.
Because it's just enjoying itself. It's learning this world. It's getting the opportunity to be a part of this place. And if you talk to a couple of the NPCs in Sanctum Anatomica, Tagfer in particular, they talk about the fact that he's really unsure of anything and just kind of feeling out this world at this point.
Right.
But it has its own desire set of what it wants, and it seems to have enough wherewithal to know what other people want and what it can give them in order to kind of sway them.
The thing that came to mind was like Loki, and not like Marvel's Loki. I'm just talking about like the
real
Trickster.
one.
Yeah, the real one.
Yes,
That's kind of what I thought of.
It's interesting you should bring that up. If you get an opportunity, that's one of, and you're right on the money with this, one of the Jungian archetypes is the Trickster, and that's exactly what the Man on the Wall represents.
He's being a trickster right now. No, yeah. It's like the entire time, because like Loki isn't really for or against anybody. He's just kind of like for himself, for the most part. So like
it's chaos.
Exactly. Which is more. I don't know. Is it more or less dangerous that he may not have ideals? He just is there to cause chaos.
Oh, much more. It's much worse, because when you have an entity that, it's in the same breath of why people find Lovecraftian entities so scary.
Yeah.
Because a being that does not care about your existence does not care about removing that existence either. And it's not so much that it hates you or that it wants to see you dead. It's just you were just in its way. And that makes those type of powers, extremely dangerous, because you never know what they're going to do.
Right.
There's no way to control them.
No, yeah.
You're at the mercy of basically whatever the day brings.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting to think about. Isn't there a Warframe called Loki? Yes, but I don't think it's really the same. I think that's just a consequence of naming.
Yeah, I mean, again, we may find Loki actually has his own, let's say, significance within the lore, and we may come to find when they start like fleshing these characters out, because I think that's where the next step is headed with the Protoframes. We're going to learn, okay, here's the story of Excalibur, and here's the story of Mag, and then this one's going to be Volt, and it's very possible that we're going to get into all their different backstories.
I'm excited for that. I'll be honest with you, I'm really excited about that, because we've had a lot of steps where we're advancing the story, and now it feels like they're fleshing everybody's stories out more. And if they're doing that, there is a very big reason that we need to know everybody's backstory, and that's like really super duper exciting.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's any bit of information.
Yeah.
I'll take
So
anything.
excited.
Any scraps.
With the Protoframes in mind, do you think that those are just going to be new Warframes, or do you think they're just going to use those as like skins that you can get?
I don't think they're going to be new Warframes. I do think there'll probably be something more in the line of a skin, only because we've kind of gotten the opportunity to play with Excal. If you and his ability set was basically the same thing as the regular Excalibur.
No, yeah.
And then again, Excalibur Umbra is basically the same thing as Excalibur, so it's possible.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think that they'll probably definitely be skins. So, I saw a couple of people say, well, but it would be cool if it was another Warframe. Like, bro, we already have over 100 Warframes. I feel like every single new one has got to like be a little bit more unique in some way.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll see. Personally, I kind of hope they don't go down that route, because they'd be basically just kind of farming for frames that maybe have one different ability than the current ones that we already have. That being said, though, I imagine many people are getting to the point where there's not much to grind for too.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, like, once you hit like legendary rank, you get down to, okay, what weapons am I missing that I didn't want to go grind for? Like that last lich weapon that I know I'm not going to use because everybody says it sucks, or all of the weapons you can get from invasions. Hell, I'm still missing the Detron because I can't get the one. I don't do the Grineer invasions very often because I got all of the special Grineer weapons. And two, like the Corpus boss just never drops it. The Nuke never drops it when it invades me. So it's just like, I've been playing for 18 months. I still don't have it yet, and I would buy it if I could.
I'll tell you, that's impressive that you were able to get in for as little bit of time you've been playing. That's super impressive. I literally couldn't. Because then there's other bits of grinding in there that people don't like. You're not at face value. You're not seeing. Like, for you to get most of your weapons, that means that you grinded for a whole bunch of Forma.
Yes.
A whole bunch of Forma.
I think I have like 30 or 40 just in my inventory right now, but yeah.
I mean, that's an impressive amount of grinding. There's way more on top of it than just that. Now, I will say this, that same thing versus this game that we're playing right here, I do think that your time is respected even more in Warframe than here. And that's saying something, because there's a ton of grind in Warframe too. You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, we were talking about that, chat, a little bit. The grind in this game, like, it's very low right now, but you said it gets way worse. Like, is it pretty soon, or like how far away until the grind gets like unbearable?
Well, so essentially what it comes down to is if you're okay with just taking what the game gives you, right? I'm not talking about the ultimate weapons or anything else like that. I'm just saying with the legendaries.
Yeah.
The grind will be very minimal. But if you want to get involved with really, like, kind of, I would say, making a home in this game and finding weapons that you specifically like, that is where the grind begins, because how it works is you get, say a weapon drops. There's 4 different, like, little abilities on each weapon. You can change all 4 of those if you want.
Yeah.
But there's a cost. And the cost gets higher the more precisely dialed into the weapon. So if you just want to roll all 4 weapon perks again, right?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cheap. But say you got 3 on there that you like and you're looking for that last one, you're looking at whereas you need one of a particular resource to do it for all 4, you need 20 of that same resource to just do one, to reroll 1. So you got that.
Yeah.
Then there's also a resource that you need to upgrade your weapon level, because as you keep moving up, your weapon level keeps moving up. It's not like, even though my character's at level 40, my gun level is at level 66. And it just, as far as I can tell, it just keeps going. I don't know where the top is.
Right.
So you have that, whereas there's another resource you have to grind in order to get the thing that you have to upgrade with.
Yes.
So kind of like an enhancement module in Destiny.
It looks very similar.
Can just go to there and just buy one at Rahul.
Yeah.
Here you know.
You have to actually and I looked when I finally understood the grind to actually get them. I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. But now I'm constantly going to be, because like in Destiny, you can kind of control when you pick up certain things, and it's easy to dismantle. In this game, it almost feels like a chore to pick up all of these extra things, but you have to, so that you can get the resource to get the enhancement modules.
Yep.
And it's like, oh.
And you got to keep building them too.
Oh yeah, that's what like even. I think the thing that like hurts even worse is it's just like they added one of the worst parts of Warframe, which is the time it takes to craft things, and they made the timer feel so bad in this game. It's just like 1 minute to craft. Now, thankfully, you can like double or triple up on like how many of them you craft, but it's just like, bro, this should be instantaneous.
But you can only craft like 5 or 6 items at a time.
Yeah, I hate that too. I was like, what? Oh.
So, I mean, again, they're definitely they're trying to keep you playing this game. There is no two ways around that. And I don't think that's the thing. I think the game's good enough that you didn't need all this extra grind and crap to keep people playing. I would actually want to play more if there wasn't as much to it. But then you get down to like, if you want mods, oh man, good luck.
Oh yeah.
Good luck. I mean, it's good that they have them. You can see where every mod is. Like it'll tell you exactly where you need to go to grind for it. When will you get it? I don't know.
Yeah.
What mission do you have to play? Could it be that one where you have to jump on the platforms over and over and over and over and over and over again? Yes, yes, it could.
Yeah. I will say, what's crazy is I'm kind of used to these systems because there's another game done by Nexon that I've played for many years that they do this all the time. And that's Maple Story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Maple Story.
What game is that?
Maple Story. Oh my gosh! Like the one of the systems in Maple Story, you have to. So there are enemies in certain maps of the game that you can't hit unless you like have a specific stat that is high enough, and you raise that stat by getting special armor and weapons, and then you have to do the basic upgrade, like upgrade the armor so it's like a +1 or a +2, like in D&D. But then once you run out of the enhancements, you can start spending your money to like grind this specific stat, and that raises your stats even further. But you have to raise that stat in order to fight the monsters in that area. So there's going to be a period, and it's not cheap to upgrade these either, like where you only pick up a couple thousand mesos, which is the currency every time you kill an enemy. You get up to needing millions upon millions just to do one upgrade, and there's a chance it doesn't work. And what's worse, there's a chance it destroys the weapon if it fails. So you can also spend money to like keep it from being destroyed. No, I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god, that'd be Rage City for me. Especially if it was something I really liked, I'd be like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It's that's the thing about Maple Story.
So far, I haven't seen anything like that here.
I hope it doesn't happen, honestly, because like, I with what I've seen in the cash shop in this game, it is somewhat similar to Warframe, and if they allowed you to earn the currency outside of the battle pass, I would have zero issues with that at all. But there's no way to earn it.
Yeah, I don't like that, and I'll be honest with you, I don't care for. Did you see? Oh my goodness, did you see how much an Orkin reactor
Yes, it's like $15.
requires? Or if you want to grind one? Oh my goodness,
I
are you kidding?
saw, because I thought Orkin reactors were hard to grind in Warframe just because it was a little monotonous. This, I haven't seen all where you get all the materials for it yet. I'm sure some of them are way late into the game.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, and that's okay. So getting back to kind of the Warframe thing, so now with Nora's with Nightwave, you can get Orkin reactors. I mean, you just have to grind a little bit of the credit out.
Yeah.
And then you can buy them as many as you want.
Yeah.
So like, I really think that if this game, if they would have also looked into some of the innovations that Warframe did in that regard, in kind of easing up on the grind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This game would be something, because it's fun.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around it. It's a fun game to play.
Very fun. Very, very. Excuse me. No, yeah, I think a lot of people
over here.
Huh?
There's an echo over here.
Ooh. I think nobody can disagree that it's not fun, because it is very, very fun. Very enjoyable. I think the big problem is there's just a few systems that are going to drag it down if they don't change it. And maybe I'm not saying they won't. In fact, I'm pretty sure maybe they will. If they treat it like Digital Extremes treated Warframe, where they're constantly listening to the fans and constantly saying, okay. I mean, like, one of my favorite examples of DE listening is the special skins from the 10th anniversary. Like, I was like, it kind of sucks that they cost that much, but I feel okay with it because DE's worked for 10 years on this. But I know a lot of people were upset with the anniversary skins being expensive. Well, they changed it, and now it's like $25 for one skin, or you can buy it for platinum at a later point. And I think it's just like if the First Descendant did that, like where they listened, oh man, it would be great.
What I love about, I just absolutely adored DE because I really do believe they could be one of the last companies that actually, like, when they say they are listening, they are. They really, they're doing their best. Like, they probably have, you know, some shareholders on the other end telling them, don't you do this, don't you do this, and you know, they're still trying to kind of keep it as player friendly as possible. And whereas I think a lot of their games have just given up on that.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it's really unfortunate because, like, again, Digital Extremes is proof that very rare proof that you don't need to add a bunch of microtransactions into your game, or you don't need to, like, go really hard with all of them. You can, like, still make something, and, like, if you add the option for your fans to support you, or I don't know, I just feel like they do a great job at it. You know what I mean?
They're my favorite. I mean, without question.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I could probably increase my overall, like, footprint, if you will, on YouTube by doing other videos and such with other games and stuff. But I just don't look at anything else as integral, or it has the same integrity as Warframe. Maybe I got some rose-colored glasses here. That's possible, but
no, you're totally fair about that. Cause, like, I don't know, for a while, and I still have a lot of hope for Helldivers. Have you played a lot of Helldivers?
I have not played any of it because
Really?
Although I have a PS5, I don't have any, like, friends on PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I shouldn't say I have friends on PlayStation, but I've never had a reason to get PlayStation Network because all of the games now I can just play, you know, like this one I can just play with people on PlayStation with this. So I really haven't taken the time to set that thing up. But is it fun? It looks fun.
It is fun. So the thing with Helldivers is, it is a very fun game. A lot of people are going to agree. The problem with it is they have basically the opposite of what DE has in turn. Well, they listen to their fans, but they have community managers that kind of go off the rails, and that in itself, if that was the only problem, it sucks. But I could kind of be okay with it. But then they also like went really hard with balancing their weapons, like with how Destiny does their balancing, and I really, really hope that they don't fall apart, because Helldivers is a great game. But they keep kind of stepping in it sometimes, and it kind of scares me.
Well, they need these a lot of these companies. I really do think they need to stop trying to dictate to people things and let the market play out.
No, I agree.
Like if the people want your game, believe me, you'll know. And if they don't want your game, try not to hide behind excuses and look at the real problems. Because I really do feel like we're in a situation now where, like, because it's become so prevalent for people to just blame whatever they want to blame for any type of failure, we've lost like a bit of objective, like, I don't want to say truth, but at least a kind of overarching opinion where if your game isn't doing well, it's very possible that it could suck. Like, that could just be it. It might not be your audience or this, that, and the other thing. It just might be a bad game or a bad story or something like that. And I remember a time, now I'm literally approaching 50 here. But I remember a time when, like, the customer was the one that was right. Right. I don't feel like, especially in the gaming space specifically, even though I do feel like gamers are one of the most vocal groups as far as what they want and don't want, and have they have a much better line to their, like, the manufacturers of the things they like than, like, say, a normal person would for their refrigerator or their sweeper. Like, nobody's following Frigidaire on Twitter or anything like that, even though they might have problems. And yet I do feel like in this industry, like, there's so many groups that just kind of, they decide what they want to do, and that's how it's going to be. And if you don't like it, well, you are the bad person, and we're the best.
I know what you mean, and I talked about this with a friend yesterday. She's very loud and vocal about it. She does think that the pendulum on that kind of stuff, where we see games kind of just falling apart, and just the culture in general, like pop culture, anime, video games, TV shows, that's definitely swinging back, because we've had a lot of, like, stuff that just kind of sucks. And I'm not just saying, like, any one group of people hates it, like, the general public just kind of hates it. You know what I mean? So we're getting to the point where you have a bunch of small games, and I do believe the Helldivers, the core game mechanics makes it one of those small games where they are going to be the ones that stand out over the AAA or the quadruple A games that cost $120. Like,
oh, absolutely.
They're going to be the ones that stand out at the end of the day, and people are going to be, like, confused, like, why don't you play my game? We spent hundreds of hours on this, and there's $100 million sunk into this, and that's because we hired this one voice actor that we had to hire. It's just like, well, it's because your game sucks.
Yeah, that's it. And again, like, the quicker that you just accept it and move forward, like, I think that's another thing. Our society has a real problem with failure. Like, we've just gotten to this point where, like, it's like people feel like they're not allowed to fail, and it's like you don't become good at anything unless you fail a ton at it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, like I
how
fail
it
all the
is, you
time.
know?
Some of my streams are
it's-
some of the biggest fails ever, and it's just like, well, that sucked. Let's try that again.
I mean, but that's it. That's the beauty of it. That's if everybody was perfect at everything, like there would be no journey.
No, I agree. I mean, like, good example, like, DE hasn't always been perfect. Like, Warframe, again, I wasn't there when Warframe first started, but I'm pretty sure Warframe was really rocky in the beginning. And
God,
it had to get
so
better and better.
Yeah, but it did, and I mean they had a vision, and they were able to bring it to fruition. And I guess I look at this game in a similar way. I don't feel a lot of love in this game. How's that?
No, I know what you mean. I definitely agree. I feel like if I was there 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago, I guess at this point, when Warframe was first out, I feel like it would have, if I would have felt very much differently, because this game does feel like it's just like, again, it feels like another Nexon game. And because I've played MapleStory, I know what that feels like.
And they do have something here.
Oh, yeah.
There's no two ways around it. They got something.
I guess something really good.
They just if you just ease up a little on the grinding and hire, please, dude, hire somebody that can write a story, for the love of God.
And don't make the colors like one use only. I saw that and I was like, oh no.
Well, I still have yet to figure out how to color.
Okay.
Anything. Where does that even? Where do you go?
So you have to have a non-base. It can't be on base skins. I learned that you have to use a premium skin or like an alternate skin of some kind in order to apply colors.
Now that is horrid.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine getting Excalibur and it's just like you can't even put colors on. I was like, why?
And it you know what? It doesn't help anything, because when I'm in Albion there, I just feel like one of 1,000 other
Descendants.
yeah, not even descendants. One of 1,000 other, specifically bunnies. Like, we all sound the same. We have the same face. You know, it's not like this isn't a suit. This is I'm in a human being. I'm not an inner. I'm inner. You know, it's very weird when I think about the story.
Yeah.
And then it even gets stranger, like whenever you start to realize that most of the NPCs in the campaign are descendants.
No,
that
yeah.
you're gonna be later.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another thing where I'm just like, wait a minute. So where does the first descendant come in? Because like they're all descendants, but why are we the first descendant? You know what I mean? I'm
hoping at the end of the campaign they explain that, because that's actually a question I was asking myself. Where is the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna? Was that something that we are going to find out? Like, do they have any type of actual relevance?
The fact that you because I know you're way ahead of me. The fact that you're still asking that question's got me worried.
Oh man, it's so like, it seems like what they did was, because it's very long. It seems like what they did was they encapsulated like a mini story
the
in
game
each
froze.
of the lands. And by doing,
Oh, the game froze.
I got kicked.
Oh
I
no.
got kicked out.
The game, what did it do? It disconnected from the server.
I actually got kicked out too this time, so. So it's certainly got its little thingies going on. Now, one thing I did think that was interesting that I'm still waiting to figure out exactly what's going on with it. Maybe I missed this in the story, because towards the back end of it, I have to be honest, I stopped paying attention a little bit. But when you first load up the game, the thing that you're looking at is the dead bride.
Mm-hmm.
That they have all hooked up. The Colossus.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really. I was curious as to why do we have that here?
No, yeah. Like, why is it just kind of laying there?
Yeah. And further, why can't we get to it? Like that scene isn't something I don't think that
Do you think they know?
Really good question. Really good question.
Oh yeah. Can we talk about the enemy variety? Because some of the enemies are very like, because like from the way I understand it, they're all under this one big dude, this one big bad Corel guy, but they all feel so different. It's really weird.
Yeah, you have like the Mecha Godzillas.
Mm-hmm.
They literally, those guys look like Mecha Godzillas. If you look at them very, very close, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, they actually took that. There's little Vex looking, or Harpy looking guys.
Yep.
Got them. Something that I would say looks like what was that kid's name in one of the Warframe things with there was a Nightwave, Arlo,
yes.
looks like one of the groups that was following him. You got them. Now I've actually gotten to a part of the story where I think I know what's going on there, and I don't really want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
But I think I understand. You have to understand that this story is just, it's so hard to follow in its entirety that like I said, it's very, very long. Did I mention that?
No, yeah, really quickly. Why did my message get blocked? I didn't say any stars this time. I don't know why your message got blocked. You're on Twitch. Twitch likes to Twitch is very feelsy about any words. So I don't know. Clam, did you get an invite? I'm pretty sure I sent one to you. Just saying I saw your DM. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me check. I see. Fair enough. Yeah, I am, like, I'm interested enough in the story where I'm like, I just want to see where it goes, but I'm also at the same point where I was like, I want to stop losing in this story. Like, can we get the third Iron Heart and, like, because again, it just feels like, okay, the overarching story is we gotta close the dimensional wall, otherwise excuse me, not the honkai, the evil dudes are gonna keep coming after us. It says your party's full? What the hell? We're not, what? Okay, we'll go back to Albion, maybe that'll fix it. But it's just like, you have to close the dimensional wall, and while you're doing that, by the way, there's this evil guy that, is trying to stop you. He also wants the Iron Heart, and I'm like, why does he want that? To take over the world. Okay, is he... I don't know, it's just...
You're gonna love what happens. That's all I can say.
Okay, I'm excited then. I'm really excited.
I don't want to do... Because... You've followed the story up to that point, and I feel it for you to either be shocked or as disappointed as I was. How's that?
Okay, I'm excited now. I'm really excited now. Oh man!
Like I said, it was just that. I will say we've had a great month for gaming.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
June was an amazing month. You talk about you got then we had some Warframe stuff that was amazing. We had some good Destiny stuff. Elden Ring was just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
This is so much fun.
It's so good. I have not finished the DLC yet, but I am right before Mesmer. I'm gonna do some exploring before I fight Mesmer. But okay. So have you completed the DLC? I think I saw that you got closer. You did.
I am actually at the very last. I'm at Radon.
Okay,
right
you're
now.
at the final boss, right?
And I've done everything else in there, like all the other optional bosses.
Okay, fair enough.
And so Radon is a complete jerk.
That's what I've heard. I don't know anything about him. I just know that he's there. But like, do you think this DLC is hard? Because I always like to see like. Well, actually, here's a better question first. Have you played a lot of Dark Souls games, or is that your first
Yes.
one? Okay, so you played all of them then, or a good chunk of them.
I have played Dark Souls, Bloodborne. I've been through the first Elden Ring, I think 5 times.
Okay.
Like the original, the base game.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like I've also played. I've been through Lies of P and Remnant, and so yeah, those games, they're right up my alley. I love them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you think the DLC is hard then?
Yes, but I think the thing that people are missing with it is I'm guessing a lot of people want to, and I did the same thing in the beginning. They want to go in and they want to use what worked for them. If you try to barrel your way through Shadow of the Erd Tree with just whatever you were using, even if you thought it was strong in the base game, chances are it's not going to serve you well, especially if you had a very heavy build and aren't particularly great at dodging or parrying. You are going to have a seriously bad time in Shadow of the Erd Tree. But if you like look at your deficiencies for each boss and try to counter what they're doing, not just in moveset, but also like if putting on different resistances or potentially making your build really light so that you can you have a lot more stamina, that you will get through you'll get through it a lot faster.
Oh, I believe it. Do you use Spirit Ashes or the Mimic tier?
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, because like a lot of people don't, and I see a lot of people complain. And my number one question is always, okay, but the Elden Ring is centered around you using co-op or centered around you using the Spirit Ashes, because like that's a big part of the game. They're not going to add it and then tell you not to use it. So like, I feel like people complain because like, oh, but I want it to be a hard experience. It's like, okay, if you want it to be hard, then don't say the game's too hard.
If you want it to be a hard experience, don't over level.
Yeah.
Because okay, so here's when it comes to that. First of all, I said this on Twitter. I'm not going to sit there and spend hours looking for these Spirit Ashes just to collect them. Like, I want to use them. I want to see what they do.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, I really like the Spirit Ashes. I like the variety that you can do with them. But those same people that complain about that, right? Unless they're running level 1, no gear type thing, if you're running Bloodhound Step, if you're running, like a heavy arcane build with bleed that just chunks bosses.
Yeah.
How is that any different? Like you're gaming the system to make it easier. That's exactly what you're doing. If you're using a great rune, it's all about in the level of what are you buffing your weapon? Again, if that's what you're talking about, you have to ask, okay, what exactly are the rules then?
Yeah.
Because they can't just be subjective to what certain people think is okay. Like, you can't use Spirit Ashes, but you can use the meta weapons like the Blasphemous Blade or something like that, and just spam that attack over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Where, like in that attack in particular, you get health back. Your HP regenerates with every single one of those hits.
Right.
So is that cheating?
No, I would not say
You know
so.
what I'm saying? It's like, it just gets into a real subjective game as to what's like a legitimate win and what isn't a win, if that's how you're gonna start judging the whole thing.
I see what
feel
you mean.
like
One of
I saw a
these.
bunch of people say this too. Just like in Fast and Furious, win's a win. You get it in that game, you should feel real good about yourself, because it's a very difficult game. It'll test you. It'll break you. It'll bring you to your limits. But if you allow it, if you just play the game and, you know, kind of embrace the whole thing, you'll have one of the best experiences.
Yeah.
You know, but go through the crap. You know, you got to go through it. You have to get frustrated. You have to. That's what people don't get. Like, the beauty of those games is the frustration, because it's when you conquer that, it's a feeling like you just don't get anywhere else, and you learn things about yourself that you can push yourself further.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to actually overcome things maybe you didn't think you could.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. I agree with that. Oh yeah.
I just did this one. It sucked.
I haven't seen you talk about this game, but I just figured I'd ask. Have you ever played Final Fantasy 14?
No, I really tried.
You tried?
Yeah, I have it downloaded because it's
free
on Xbox now, right?
Yep.
I cannot get into any server.
Really?
I have tried. I'm telling you, I am not lying. I bet you I have tried to log into a server on the character that I created.
Uh-huh.
At least 20 times.
Oh, wait. So you're trying to just enter the server? What is it telling you that it's full?
What did it say? What were the exact thing that it said? Something like it's either not available or full or something like that. What did I do wrong?
Yeah, so the big problem that 14 kind of has is there is like a limit to how many people can be made on that server. Like the server I'm on right now, it's one of the more popular ones, so it's often full. And it only becomes kind of free when somebody either deletes a character or characters are kind of like removed. There's a recent server issue with Dawn Trail on Xbox, and and they are also prioritizing paid players. So if you decided to start playing it for free, which everybody should try it out for free, because you get to play for free up to the second expansion with no limit on game time. Like everybody should try it. But I do believe that, like, for now, since there's a new expansion, they're gonna prioritize the paid players in the meantime. But I do think that, like, you should play it. It's very fun.
I wanted to. I was desperate to play it. I waited for years for it to come up. I was, so jacked off that basically it was only for PlayStation, and I was like, man, it sucks.
Yeah.
And then it finally came. I downloaded it the day it was available. I was just super hyped. I'm like, the day is here. Mm-hmm. And then it stiffed me.
No, yeah, I would say that, well, it sounds like that they're just having issues with the servers on Xbox. But usually those kinds of issues get fixed eventually. And I would say definitely try it. I will also say that if you play it, the base campaign is they've made it better, but it's a little bit of a slog because it's the base campaign and they were learning how to tell a story. But the moment you get to the first expansion, you're absolutely gonna love it. The story's amazing.
I mean, I'm totally. Here's the thing. I loved Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy VIII was my favorite of the entire group. I loved Final Fantasy IX, 10, 11. Wait, no, was it 11 or was it not the one that was online, but the one with lightning?
I believe 11 was online.
Okay, so it was 12. 15 I thought was fantastic. I'm willing to give a Final Fantasy title a bit more latitude than I would like other, because I know they're gonna. Did you happen to play Final Fantasy 15?
I have not. I own it, and I really would like to play it someday because it looks really good. I have so many things on my plate.
I know the feeling. But if you do, it's super in depth. It's got a great story. It's a really it's kind of fantastic. It's ending. Really good game.
That's the one where it's kind of futuristic feeling, right? Where it's like the dudes and they're all like in a big car and they're going on a field trip kind of thing.
It's like four buddies basically that were the ones from one of them's the like the heir to the throne, and the three are like his like bodyguards or royal guard or whatever they
Consort? Is that the right word?
Yeah, they're all like they really do. They hang out and eat together and they take pictures of each other. It's a very, very cool like interaction the whole way through, and you get to see like the lives of these guys through the eyes of these four people and what they know they have to do and what happened already. I don't want to get too much into it, but especially at the end, whenever they kind of congregate for the big thing.
That way.
It's a very emotional thing. It's very, very cool.
Well, I do want to play it eventually. I also kind of want to play 16 because 16 was written by, what was it? Okay, Temp, I know you're in chat. Was 16 written by Yoshi P, or was it like did he help? Because I know that Yoshi, the guy who made 14, helped out with 16. And a lot of people really like 16. But the big problem with 16 is it's on the PS5, and nobody owns a PS5, and so it didn't sell well. And like Square Enix is like, well, is this really a good game? And it's like, yes, but release it somewhere else, please.
Sony's real weird about that.
Yeah. But
they just do not care for that sort of thing. They don't like giving up their IP to anything.
Well, especially since they really don't have many IPs to begin with that are exclusive to their console, and they're losing more and more every single year.
True, but I really do think they need to figure out a way to start embracing the fact that people don't like console exclusives anymore.
No.
I get it might be something big for your business model, but you'd be probably better off taking the path that like Xbox is trying to do and just, I mean, it's more sales in the grand scheme. And how many people are going to go out and buy a PlayStation or an Xbox now? Like whatever you have, you have.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the only one that is still being successful with it is Nintendo, and that's because everybody knows that Nintendo's just never going to budge whatsoever. But even then, Nintendo's only got like 2 or 3 properties that you know will never leave them. Everything else is just like, it'll be somewhere else, it's okay. And that's Mario, and that's Zelda, and I guess Metroid now. The Metroid's got another game coming out soon. But, no, yeah, I feel like Sony needs to like ditch it. I feel like the day that they do and just like say, hey, we'll publish the game for you, but it can go everywhere else. They also need to not be so big on the PSN. I feel that was another big thing with the Helldivers is they were about to require a PSN in order to play Helldivers everywhere. And then they banned Helldivers from being because like Helldivers was allowed worldwide. Anybody could buy it in all of the countries. But because PSN is only available in so many countries, the people that bought the game were no longer able to play it because it required a PSN. And so a lot of people were really upset with that. Because, like, imagine if you bought this awesome $40 game and PSN and Sony is just like, actually, you have to live somewhere else in order to play this game.
I mean, it makes you wonder what Sony's thinking as far as a business model.
I don't think they are, honestly.
Like, what are you doing? Like, why would you do? You're literally limiting your market share. That just seems.
I don't understand it. I don't understand
companies are like said they're run by humans, so
yeah,
bound to fail.
Very true. Very, very, very true. I don't know. But anyway, going back to 14. I hope that they fix the Xbox issue soon, because I do know that a lot of people on Xbox have been waiting to play it. I'll tell you when it gets fixed, because like that's crazy. I think everybody should play that.
Totally down. Yeah, I would absolutely. It's still downloaded on my console.
Yeah,
like it's ready to go the second. Every once in a while, that's what usually happens too. Like when I've been through a game, played it enough, I'll just fire that one up real quick just to see, is it working yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Moving to the next game.
Yeah. I would say definitely, like, ever so often try it. And don't try the same world server. That may require you to make another character, but thankfully, like...
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Well, because like
Took a lot of time on that character too, man. He looks awesome.
well, I think you can save the character data and make it in another server. Tam, I may be wrong about that, but like you can save that character data and then just copy it to another like server. I'm pretty sure you're able to do something like that. Because
See.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just looking at your chat there. Like basically, yeah, that's Final Fantasy 15. That's such a great. Yeah, you should play that.
I will. I will.
Sorry.
Correct? Okay. Yeah. So what I would do is log into 14, save the character data for your character that you made, and then remake it on another server and see if you can play that way. Because I know that the servers again fill up. Like not all of them are full all the time because people are constantly flowing in and out. I know the server I play in is almost always constantly full, so people never play on the server with me. But that doesn't matter because you can server hop really easily. You can visit different servers at any time as long as you're in the same data center. And I think you can even visit different data centers now too. So,
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's definitely something I wanted to play anyhow.
yeah, I would give it a look. Just like remake the character on a different server and see if you can log in. I will ask, have you played Kingdom Hearts at all?
The earlier iterations of them, yeah, I played
Okay.
like 1, 2, and 3, but then like, oh man, there's like
There's
so
so
many
many.
weird titles. 3, 6, 5 over 2, and what was that one? There's so many.
Dream Drop Distance, Final Mix, 2.5. I can't remember.
Yeah, it got to the point where I stopped. I kind of like got out of it for a couple years. I got out of like gaming for a couple years, if you will, when I was like in my teens.
Mm-hmm.
And then picked it up again like in my mid-20s, and I already missed quite a few of the things. I just never got back into it. But again, Kingdom Hearts was awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the titles that I played there.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I don't want to say that 14 has... Well, there's probably some inspirations, because all Final Fantasy games have some inspirations, basically down to the first one. I think you'll definitely really like the story for 14. If you liked Kingdom Hearts, you'll probably definitely like the story for 14. Because I feel like, again, there's some inspirations that really help to make the game shine in terms of story. It's really good. Really, really good.
Well, I mean, that's right up my alley. That's the type of thing I like.
Oh yeah, like
You can get me engaged in a story. You will keep me, even if the gameplay is, kind of not great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to deal with that for a good, because I just feel like great narration in video games is a dying thing because it's not profitable.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Jeremy's going to visit Corel. I had absolutely no idea that was gonna happen. I am
Yeah,
so surprised.
Well, he's always full of little things you just never want to. I was like, why can't we just punch this guy right up front? Because
Yeah.
he's clearly not a team player. He doesn't care about the rest of the team or anything but himself. Why is he part of this group again? Nobody else can see this is gonna go bad at some point.
I'm just like, oh goodness, how much is this game? It is free, and the game is great. I hope that it continues to improve so it's even greater.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
Narration is dying for the sake of propaganda and agenda instead.
I wish I could argue with that point, but
Again, I'm just really glad
there's
that
a lot of
DE
reasons why people want to make a story these days, and it's not always just related to the game itself or to the movie itself or to the story, the show itself.
I agree. I
There's
agree.
all kinds of things.
I agree. All right. This should take 20 minutes or less. This is where you get the Sharon stabilizer research material. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Sharon is one of those ones that isn't that expensive, so that makes sense. Mode. Because Alpha is sympathetic and also Jeremy is very capable / competent.
Yeah, but he's just overly against the rest of the team. I don't know if that guy, even if he was exceptionally good at what he did, if I was Alpha, I'd have to have a little bit of a talk with him. Be like, hey, buddy, you know, we're on the same side here.
Yeah.
And anytime I've ever seen a character basically try to do everything on their own, that's usually recipe for just a horrible thing to happen, because they usually don't, and then it brings other, kind of like in a situation with the final shape. You know, the interesting part about that, and the thing that kind of bugged me about the story in that, was that there was no reason for Zavala or Ikora to be in the Traveler. They themselves had already basically reserved it. The idea was in the beginning that just the one person was supposed to go in and then make a path for others, right?
Make a landing.
Yeah. But unfortunately, in that time period, you had multiple people come in and then just bring their own like stuff into the Traveler. Like the argument between Ikora and Zavala, they decided to switch personalities for this one, because Ikora was always the one who was kind of like, well, you have to get the job done. The best part, there's a part in the final shape when they say bravery, devotion, sacrifice. And Zavala says, what does that even mean? And Ikora says, I don't know. And I'm like, these are supposed to be your guardian tenants, and you guys don't know what any of this means? I was just like dumbfounded that it seemed like they made these characters, just aside from Cade, completely fall apart.
I mean,
this is supposed to be the vanguard. This is supposed to be, you know, and yet you have our character pretty much a mute. Every once in a while, they decide to say some stuff, but it's so few and far between. And another aspect of the Destiny story I've never understood is, why is it that our guardian like doesn't talk and our ghosts talks constantly, but Zavala's ghost doesn't talk hardly at all. In fact, we've just met him for the first time in the final shape.
And now he's gone.
Ikora's ghost doesn't talk very, very frequently, if at all.
Yeah.
Like, why is our character the only one who doesn't speak, and their ghost speaks for them?
That is a good question. You could probably chalk it up to money, because maybe if they had unlimited money, they would have them talk more. But it's just like, there's inconsistencies here.
Shouldn't Warframe show you, though, that you don't need a big budget actor? I mean, the people that Warframe get for their voice actors, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're like nobodies, because they're certainly, you know, highly proficient in what they're not, you know, Hollywood stars or anything else like that, like what Destiny tried to do with, you know, bringing in these well-known names.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's necessary. I think that you can find some really great talent.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, the fact
people don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
But still, you know, no, I was just gonna say, like, basically that maybe the people don't know them, you know, but what does that matter? It's a character you're gonna meet now anyhow, and you're not meeting. When I'm meeting Zavala, I wasn't meeting Lance Reddick. You know, I was meeting Zavala, which is another. I really didn't like that they decided to switch his voice with another really well-known voice actor.
I think they only did that just because it was the final shape and they needed to like grab somebody. And I feel like they only went with the guy they did because Bungie's worked with him before, and it was probably like a, hey, can you come do this thing for us? You know, having the Arbiter be Zavala was crazy though.
But I mean, I guess, to me, it was weird because it didn't sound like Zavala. Like every one of the voice actors in Destiny has been replaced now.
Yeah.
Ikora's not Gina Torres anymore. I'm trying to think who was the Anna Bray's actor she was actually a Hollywood like star, but they replaced her as well. And these people were just regular actors that sound like the old actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just curious as to why they didn't do something similar because whereas it's totally cool, my problem with it was as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I don't hear Zavala. I hear, what's his name from Halo?
Yeah, or the Arbiter,
or Spawn, you know, from You're the Arbiter. Yeah, you know, like I don't hear Zavala here.
Or you're in Mass Effect again.
Very strange. And yeah, I think that in the same thing with the Guardian, like I really do. Heck, I almost wish that they would have made is it Nolan North? Is that who our ghost voice is?
It's either him or it used to be him. I can't remember.
I mean, why not just make him the voice of the Guardian?
Mm-hmm. For males, at least. I don't know.
Yeah, that was just these are all reasons why I moved away from Destiny into Warframe. Mm-hmm. These little nitpicks that I have, and I do. I'm a nitpicky type person when it comes to the content that I want to cover.
Right. No, I mean that's fair. Like, I always tell people like, don't play something or don't cover something, or because I know a lot of VTubers that hate what they do because they're like, oh, I don't get any viewers, or my content just is doing. I was like, well, do you enjoy what you do? They're like, no, I'm just kind of doing it to do it. I was like, well, there's your problem there. Like,
there
listen,
it is right there.
There's a reason why I play Warframe and I like playing looters. Like, I wouldn't play them on stream if I didn't like them. They're like, I used to play Minecraft a whole lot, but there's a reason why I stopped doing it. It's because I can't play it that much anymore. I just got bored of it. Just like, don't do what you don't enjoy. Like, if I woke up tomorrow and decided that I wanted to move to some other random game, I'd probably do it. But I'd have to make a new channel for it because YouTube is funky like that. But I don't think that people should
really weird about that.
Yeah, I don't think that they should like stay in what they hate, because your fans can notice that. They know when you hate what you do.
Absolutely.
Very easily.
Yeah, and the people come to our channels to escape their everyday,
mm-hmm.
to hear a familiar voice, and they want to hear someone that's happy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, if possible, unless it's something that, you know, everybody's on the same level, you know, having a problem with, complaining about, something like that. But for the most part, when you get on and you hear people, you know, you want to hear a happy voice, and that there's only one way to do that, and that's by doing things that you enjoy, because doing this kind of stuff, it's long hours for it, especially in the beginning, very little in the way of reward.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, you better enjoy what you're doing, because it's going to be real rough for you.
Yeah, I remember when I was actually monetized, so I was actually able to do it. It was like, because I started out streaming for the most part, when you stream on Twitch, you think that being an affiliate, which is 50 followers and 3 concurrents, you think that that's like the coolest thing in the world. And then you realize that, like, no, it really isn't, because 3 viewers is nothing compared to the amount of people on Twitch that have even more. And then, like, when I looked at YouTube, I was like, oh, 1,000 followers? That's, like, so far away. And 4,000 watch hours? Man, I don't know if I'll ever get that much. And the more you do it, the more you, like, assemble your niche and what you want to get into, the more it's just like, actually, that's not difficult. It just requires you to actually do something that you enjoy. And then they come. Like, I was surprised with just doing Warframe content, how fast it came, just the success. And I was really happy with it.
Well, I mean, the success is you, but yeah, it definitely helps if you have a good game to go off of. You know, what I will say though is that I miss that a little bit. Like, I miss when I got 50 views and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing. You know, like just, or you know, your first, you know, 100 subscribers or something like that. It's because that's the true success. Because just getting seen, is an incredibly difficult thing.
No, I agree.
I don't know. I think it says something whenever you're able to acquire any type of following that like is, you know, legitimately with you. You know, that says something. You really struck a chord with people. It's hard to make connections in this world.
Oh yeah.
So it's very, you know, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I recently felt that again because I run a podcast where we talk about VTuber drama, and me and my co-hosts, like, it was just the craziest thing in the world, because, like, we didn't ever expect that anybody was going to watch it, because, like, when you're doing something new in just, like, the world of entertainment, I mean, drama's not new, but, like, when you're doing something that is new to the community that you're trying to affect, like VTubers, like, we had no idea how people would respond to VTuber talked drama, because like, you know how what it's like when Keemstar makes a video, but like how would people feel if just VTubers were covered? And we had no idea what to expect. And the fact that we've had, oh, the game froze. Okay, there we go. The fact that we've had the response is just like, oh my gosh, it just blows your mind.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling, but it's, you know, it's just one of those things that you'll never get that experience again.
No, and every time,
you know.
Yeah.
So it's always when it happens. Like for me, at least, when I hit any type of little milestone, try to savor that a little bit because it's never guaranteed.
No, I agree. One of the people in our group, she recently got monetized, and she was like over the moon. I was like, yeah, that's what it, like, I guess, because we've all of us have been affiliates on Twitch, and again, this is like such a small, a lot of people think that the 50 followers is like the end goal, and it's just like, no, it's not. There's so much more. And when you get monetized, it's just like, holy shit, that was actually a real thing to accomplish, because it is a big barrier of entry to get 1,000 subscribers and then also get 4,000 watch hours. It isn't easy to convince people to watch you for that many hours in 1 year. And so when you meet that barrier of entry, it's just like, holy cow, that was amazing.
Just think about to meet that criteria, the number, the sheer volume of competition that you have. Like,
sorry, I'm watching this
unlike
cutscene.
any job that you've ever had before.
Oh, is Jeremy getting second thoughts about giving the Iron Heart to Corel?
You're gonna love this.
Is he gonna die a hero? Oh my god. I wonder if Jeremy will be a playable descendant. I know he's not on the list, so who knows. Ooh, there he goes, he's dead. Or at the very least, he was stabbed. And that's where you messed up, buddy. That's why I like the team on 14. They're good to their players. They are. I would say that 14 has very responsive players. Like how Yoshi P, the director for 14, when he came out to announce the expansion launch for the most recent expansion, he said, we're going to delay the expansion by a week so you guys can play Elden Ring, but you have 1 week, and then we're just going to release it.
And again, like that certain if you're not sure something's gonna go, look, there he goes. There's your boy. Pushing it back a little bit. The only thing I get worried about is when games push stuff back too long, and then it makes you wonder, okay, how much did you actually have completed, or is the experience that poor that you needed to run it back? I'm personally, I'm very curious. I want to know what they added in the final shape.
Oh yeah, I want to know too, because we'll probably never know, but I am very curious.
Me too. I think one of them was the winged creatures.
You think so?
Yep. Because I think people were complaining that it's been 10 years. We still haven't had any new characters yet, or new the enemies that are any different. Aside from being a reskinned copy of something else. And they're just so different from anything else in the game that I could, if you told me that they were a late ad coded in after the fact, I would definitely agree with that.
Oh yeah, I feel like people would probably agree with that, because the new enemy race came right out of left field. Nobody was expecting that. Everybody was like, "Oh no, they're just going to be taken in scorn in the Pale Heart." And seeing that, I was just like, "Okay, that's crazy." It was like a genuine surprise. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. I don't like the ones that wield ice though. They can
The subjugators.
yeah, they can go away. They suck.
Did you finish the campaign on hard?
I did, yes. We did it on legendary. Unfortunately, we couldn't all do it day one because of the fact
were horrible.
Yeah, they had to turn them off and turn them back on again. That was just like absolutely amazing. And me and my friends, we had to complete it like a couple days later, and we were just really upset by that. It was so great. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we completed it on legendary mode. I just feel like it's way more satisfying to do that. And it was.
Oh yeah, it definitely was a lot better experience. I like their hard mode campaign. I really do. I love that they added that. I wish that was one of the difficulty settings that they would add for other things in the game, versus just always screwing with your power level and adding champions in. Like I liked without, like, it was just like the game, but it was basically like, not definitely not like super hard by any stretch. You could definitely do damage. It wasn't like you were being under leveled in Elden Ring going up against, like, I don't know, say the Black Joe Knight.
Yeah.
That's in that one mausoleum right in the beginning of Shadow of Erdtree, and you just absolutely get your ass handed to you. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on stream.
No,
I apologize.
Go right ahead. No, yeah, we don't care much about swearing. Well, I typically just ask people to avoid the real bad words.
Oh yeah, no, I'll try to stay away from all of them actually, but yeah.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That was. Ooh. I played Shadow of the Erdtree day one on stream, and it was a wake up call, big time. I was like, okay, looks like we're gonna have to go back into the lab, figure out how to play this game again.
Yeah, again, like I said, I'm not that far, but I played on stream with one of the people in our group, and we were just screaming all over the place because it's like, oh my gosh, this is so bad, but so good at the same time.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
The story is actually really cool. It's very Here's what I would tell you. I implore you, if you are into the story at all, to make sure you do as many of the extended quests as you can, specifically Talier's quest line, and I think it's Ymir and Yolan's quest line. Because there are two story aspects that you get through going through their whole thing that are just like mind-blowing.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I am trying to like go through, and I think my problem is because actually it wasn't so my first Soulsborne was Elden Ring, but my first Souls-like was Code Vein. Have you ever played Code Vein before?
Yeah, I have that one. Yep.
That one's really good. So I already kind of knew how to play the game. I just didn't know how to side quest. So I was very like lost for a while until my friends were like, "Oh no, you should actually look around, and if these people tell you to do something, you should probably do it." And I was like, "Okay."
I mean, in your defense, that game doesn't do a great job of explaining what it wants you to do.
No. Code Vein was very... I liked Code Vein, and I have a lot of friends that tell me that the best part about it is the fact that you could spend hours in the character creator, but it was very, very clunky at times.
Agreed. Did you play Lies of P?
No, I would like to. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it.
Lies of P is, in my opinion, the best attempt at a Souls game by another company. Like, it is fantastic. It's got a great story. Incredibly cool how they tie things together. The gun or the gameplay is it feels very Souls-like. It's very punishing. If you are one of those Souls players that just loves to get beat up, Lies of P will definitely get you.
Yeah.
But it is so much fun.
Oh yeah. I have heard nothing but just how amazing it is. So I plan to play it eventually. It's just one of those games that, one, I need to buy. After this new job, I have a couple things I need to buy. And two, I need to make time for it.
Yeah. You might want to get yourself in a good Zen place too beforehand, because you're probably gonna have your time with it like I did. Some of the bosses are very challenging.
Yeah.
I would say that you better learn how to parry.
Yeah, that's one thing that I suck with. I suck with parrying.
Yeah. You won't after a while. If you buy this game, you won't.
Okay. Lies of P is really good. I'm bad at it. I'll get back into it. Yeah. My friends have told me it's good. My friend made me buy Code Vein to play with her, only for her to never play the game. I have yet to play Beyond the Character Creator. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Oni. I know some friends that sometimes are like that.
It does have an awesome character creator, though.
I have yet, like, that one and PS... Have you ever played Phantasy Star Online 2?
Yep.
That one is also a really good character creator, or just, like, character customization.
It started out as a pretty fun game, too.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just... I think the combat at this point is just a little bit dated. You know, like, that's... Because that was another game I picked up, I think, last summer when, these games go through their...
I will do this and then we'll probably be done. We'll see how good we do.
Which one are we doing?
The Dead Bride.
Oh, nice.
So is this just like an ice version of the the beauty? Okay. So it's not much different in terms of attacks. Should be exciting.
Sorry, my dog, like...
No, you're good.
Kind of like fell into a door there. I'm not really sure what that got.
You're totally good.
All right, so Oh, you know what?
Oh, she doesn't like me. I'm guessing the floor is lava here, or is this just water? That appears to just be... No, never mind, it's not. Okay, don't touch the floor. Or maybe I just got hit by that. Oh, gosh. Ow. Ow, gosh. I might be under level for this.
Hold on. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh. I played PSO2 sadly, new Genesis release kind of ruined it. No, I agree. So, did you only play it when it came to America? Because it used to be in Japan only for like 10 years. Oh, go over there. Holy crap, she tears through my shield fast. Oh man, I am not supposed to be here. I'll do my best, but I need to grind probably. I probably shouldn't have come in with this character. This Descendant. Oh gosh! Look at me. What? I just got raised!
Watch that, those little ice crystal thingies.
Yeah, they... Oh, gosh, ma'am, stop! The Wendy's! Oh, goodness. No, but, like, the crazy thing about, oh, gosh, about PSO2 is it was 10 years exclusive, basically, in Japan. If you wanted to play it in America, you had to download a proxy and convince the servers that you were actually in Japan using a VPN. And if you could not speak in the game chat, because if you did, they would ban you because they knew you were not from Japan.
Wow.
Yeah. So, because in Japan's defense, they probably should gatekeep the game more than they do. Or they gatekept it pretty hard because it was their baby, basically. When it came over to the US, I was really excited because I liked it. Day one of getting the game, it's only on the Microsoft Store. And the Microsoft Store sucks. Not only does the Microsoft Store suck, but when the game was downloadable, if you, for whatever reason, couldn't log into the game and tried to uninstall it, it didn't uninstall the game, and it partitioned parts of your hard drive where the dead weight of the game existed. And you had to, like, go in there and, like, you had to know how to override the partition so you could delete the data, so you could re-download it.
It seems like a whole bunch of work.
It was, and I thankfully Steam was like, hey, we're releasing it too, and everybody just plays it on the Steam version, because again, the Microsoft Store version is bad.
Yeah, see, like, that would be the type of thing that would keep me from... Well, again, maybe it's just as an older person, because as a younger person, I can tell you that I probably would have went through every bit of crap necessary to get even the dumbest little emulation going. So,
yeah,
don't listen to anything I'm saying.
I mean, like, it depends. I feel like some kids today just don't have the tolerance for that. I definitely feel like I'm way more patient than I used to be. Because it used to be, if I had any issues whatsoever with a game and being able to play it, I would probably just move on. But these days, if I try to truly seek out the experience. So, it just depends. Depends on the game.
Have you played Nier Automata?
Yes, I have played Nier. I have done all three. All three stories. One of the most sad games ever. I need to play Nier Replicant because I've been told
So good.
that one is good too.
It is good. It's very good. It's you're gonna be spoiled by Automata's gameplay, so it's gonna be a little bit not gonna be quite as good, but if you play Drakengard, then you know what crappy gameplay is.
Oh,
So really
I haven't, but I've been told that it's like rough.
it's not the best gameplay ever. But it's got an interesting story.
Oh yeah, the story for Nier is really good.
Trying to kill me, I won't let her.
Her like shield thing is like so crazy. Oh gosh.
She just did it.
I imagine we can't die anymore. Like the death count, like if it goes down anymore, I think we're just dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we got one left. And she's desperately trying to use it on me.
So in order to stop that, we have to shoot the things, or does it just expire?
Or you mean this this attack?
Yes. Does it expire?
There's two little weak points on her gun.
Yeah. Do they have to be destroyed, or does eventually it just like...
Oh, it just dissipates on its own too, yeah.
Okay.
But she actually might go down.
It's like a pity timer. Oh snap.
Nice.
Nice! Awesome. All of her stuff is in the void there. And of course it still does damage to you.
They love taking care of you in this game, you know.
Alright, let's see here. Oh man, 6% chance for that Valby material. And I got the gun material. Oh well.
There you go, see?
That's where the grind comes in.
Receive. Let's see. Smithereen.
That's decent though. Zillion new weapon types every update. It was like early Warframe arbitration. You had to grind the most difficult stuff to get stuff to craft the weapons to tackle the most difficult stuff. No, yeah, I definitely think that like if you know what you're doing, Warframe is super easy these days. And with the changes they made to Steel, oh my gosh, I'm so happy with the changes they made to Steel Path.
The only way I can play Warframe now. Like it's the only. I will tell you the only reason I ever don't play Steel Path is for my videos because I don't want my gameplay to look crappy if I get like killed by something accidentally.
No, yeah,
Steel Path is fun. I'm really glad they added that.
I'm like the elemental changes are absolutely fantastic. It makes the game feel so much more consistent, and I feel like the elemental changes are going to make some other weapons like because like for a long time I've had friends who were like, oh, this weapon's trash, you never touch this weapon, but now I'm like, maybe they'll be touched again, like maybe the weapons will have use. Who knows?
You got kicked.
Oh, did I? Oh, we're gonna be done here in a moment, so it's all right. It's all right here, chat. I am gonna rate somebody on Twitch because when you're on Twitch, they say that's the nice thing to do. Let's see. I'll rate you, Cat. But it was very fun to get a chance to sit down and talk with you tonight. I love talking lore, and I love Warframe, and you make good Warframe videos.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'll tell you, at some point, maybe we can, if you want to do this again, we'll take a ride or a walk through some places in Warframe, and I can maybe point out some of their significance.
Yeah, I would love to. That would be awesome. I love that.
Their visual storytelling within, especially their newer zones, is just. Let's put it this way: the next time you go to Entrati Labs or to the Zariman, play without the music on.
Oh,
and it'll be a completely different experience. I promise.
I by default play with the music off because I just use whatever music is on the playlist for my streams, so I never just turn it back on. So I know what you mean. Sometimes I hear weird stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
There's some good things going on there.
Really crazy. But no, yeah, it was very fun tonight. It was very good to get a chance to sit down and talk to you about, especially about some of the about this game, about Destiny. I don't know, they're all just games that just like we love to hate them sometimes, except for Warframe. But
Keep playing them.
oh yeah, keep playing them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My friends say that Destiny is like my jilted ex that I can't run away from.
You see the video about the one guy who like kind of broke he called it an addiction to Destiny. It's actually pretty funny. And I think it's just because they have the one thing that none of these games have, and that's the gunplay in Destiny is the greatest thing.
Oh, I agree. That's one of the. I would say that the story and the gunplay compete all the time for what keeps people coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am gonna start this raid here real quick on Twitch. By the way, guys, if the power doesn't get knocked out from this hurricane tomorrow, I will probably be back tomorrow night to hopefully finish the Pale Heart raid. We'll see. Chat, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. But for now, chat, thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you, Siege, for coming on as well. I deeply appreciate it. Again, do you want to say real quickly where people can find you if they're interested in Warframe lore?
Oh yeah, you can just if you want, check out the D Siege, and it's basically the same thing as on the title here on the video itself. So, want to check it out? Feel free. Be happy to have you.
Awesome. All right, chat. You have a good night, chat, and we'll see you next time.